wearing an outfit something like this on a day similar to today, and I felt excited, optimistic, and invincible. At that time, I felt like, man, there's nothing you can tell me. The world is my oyster. And I had all that confidence, and as I sit around and I look at your faces, I think, if I could go back and tell myself something, what would I say? The first thing I would ask is, what do you want to do? Me, I wanted to be a filmmaker. I grew up in Philadelphia, Pennsylvania. I had some plans for myself. I was thinking I was going to wind up going to school in that area around there, and I knew people. And then here comes Florida A&M University, and they give me this scholarship, and they say, hey, we'll give you an opportunity to come down here. That wasn't exactly what I had in mind for myself, but it was the best decision that was made for me. You know, it's interesting because sometimes when things don't go your way, you feel like, you know, life isn't always fair. I had other plans for myself, and I remember my mom telling me, she said, when you go to FAMU, it's going to be exactly what you make it. FAMU can be an amazing place where you can meet new people and do new things, or it cannot be. It's up to you. What FAMU wound up giving me when I was here was lifelong friends. I met my wife when I was here. I had a lot of great teachers that looked out for me, like Dr. Vivian Hobbs, the late great Ted Hemingway, and past President Frederick Humphreys. And all of them got a chance to pour into me and make things happen. And while we were here, a bunch of us got together and we did our first movie, Chocolate City. FAMU didn't even have a film program at that time, but what it showed me is that sometimes your perspective can open new doors for you. Again, life's not always fair, but it is what you make it. So it's funny because I wound up launching my career here, coming to a place I didn't necessarily think I was going to be, and then next thing you know, I'm living my dream of being a filmmaker. Like a lot of us have dreams. Hey, I want to be on the radio. Hey, I want to have a hair salon. Hey, I want to be a seamstress. I want to do landscaping. Well, this was the place that cultivated that for us. The next thing I realized is I would say, if I'm talking to myself, once you have an idea of what you like, make a plan and take risks. Right now, you're invincible. Right now, the world is your oyster. Right now, whatever you want to do, you have the ability to do it. FAMU showed me that. We call it the FAMU hustle. When I was here, we had people that made their own clothes, that ran car dealerships, that were DJs, that threw parties, that were on the mic, on the radio station, that were musicians. All those things inspired us. So when I was here, myself and a line brother of mine, a guy named Will Packer, we formed a company together. We shot a movie here, and then we made a plan. We said, instead of going to be engineers and getting real jobs, we were already broke. So we might as well move to Atlanta and try to figure something out. Well, we did. And so it's interesting because whenever you start in that new endeavor, right now you have this entrepreneurial spirit. Right now that seems amazing. It's kind of like having a new relationship. You see that person, you like them, they like you look in each other's eyes, and everybody's saying, oh my gosh, it's so romantic, it's so cute. And then cut to a few weeks later, it kind of starts getting real. Well, the reality is that nothing that you want to do is ever going to come easy. Nothing that's worth having is ever going to be an easy road. So when we moved to Atlanta, it was tough for us to make our film dreams happen. It was 18 months before we got our first paying gig in the film business. We were doing all types of stuff on the side, as he mentioned, selling vacuum cleaners and working constructions and working as janitors and stuff like that before we got our paid gig. The tough thing was, when we first started our process, people were saying, man, that seems so cool. But then a lot of our friends got new jobs, new cars, apartments, and all that stuff. And over time, they were looking at us like, hey man, what are you guys doing? So we started to doubt the dream. Sometimes you may have something inside of yourself, you say, man, I really want to launch this app. I really want to start my own thing. I really want to go and travel to this new place, and everybody else is doing something different, and you start to question what it is that you're doing. Remember one time we needed inspiration so bad because we were throwing the newspapers during the day, trying to keep our dream alive at night, that we wound up doing stand-up comedy as a way to inspire ourselves. And let me tell you, standing on stage with some lights on you with a bunch of people that have libations in their hands saying, make me laugh, is not an easy thing. Hashtag fail. So that was not my calling. That was not my calling at all. And at the same time, as confident as I was coming out of FAMU, a lot of my friends were saying, hey Rob, are you sure you guys are doing the right thing? What about health insurance? What about paying your bills better? All those different types of things that had me doubting what my calling was. But the more that we grinded, the more that we continued to pursue our dreams in spite of being insecure, eventually it wound up paying off. You know, I realized something, that sometimes you gotta do what's necessary to be able to do what's possible, to do the impossible. I wanted to be a filmmaker, so I had to get some kind of a job to pay the bills. That's what's necessary. Then it opened the door for us doing smaller projects, the wedding video, the music video, the documentary. Now we saw what was possible, which then led to us raising money for our own films, which was the impossible. If you want to climb a mountain or you want to do some big task, if you just look at the top of the mountain, you might not even get started because you're saying, man, that's too big. But if you put one foot in front of the other, one foot in front of the other, before you know it, you'll be there. Interestingly enough, too, when we were out there taking those risks and making those things happen, and let me tell you, if you guys follow what I'm suggesting, your parents might not necessarily love that. Remember having the conversation with my mom when she says, hey, so how are you guys eating down there? It'd be really great if you put those engineering jobs to good use. But here's what I noticed. I had a lot of friends that got amazing degrees, and they went out and got amazing jobs. And they had some money to spend, and they went on trips, and they did a bunch of stuff. And then, as our jobs and careers started to take off, they would pull me aside and say, hey, Rob, I really don't like what I do. Now, I have all this stuff. I have this cool job. I got together with the person that they said I should be with on paper, but I kind of feel like I should be doing something different. And it made me realize that we have to pursue our own passions inside to be able to be the people who we're supposed to be. Sometimes if you see somebody and they have a lot of stuff, it doesn't mean that they love and feel energized when they get up every day. Sometimes you may have somebody that may not have as much money or as much stuff, but they love what they do and they feel energized every time that they go to work, and that is how you're rich. Not like this, but in here. It took me a while to kind of realize exactly what that's all about. Because I would hear people say things like, be patient, don't settle, trust your intuition, trust your gut. I believe that God gives us all individual talents that are made just for us. And because of that, you don't have to compete with anybody else. All you have to do is follow your own path and believe in your own dream. You know, what's interesting is that as an adult, you kind of want to get in this pressure to do what everybody else is doing. You look around, especially on social media and things like that, and you see everybody shining. Everybody's got the new job, they have the new relationship, they're in the new place. All those amazing things are happening. Sometimes you can sit back and say, man, my life doesn't really look like that. I'm not really doing as much as what somebody else is doing. But let me tell you, I work in Hollywood. So Hollywood is the land of smoke and mirrors. I was doing this show called Grey's Anatomy. And so I go to the place, oh, you heard it, okay, cool. So I go down, I show up to work, and I say, okay, great, so we're gonna go to the hospital. This is a hospital, no. Go to stage 11. So you go to stage 11, and there's a hospital set. The walls are made out of wood, they move around, none of the machines really work. And I'm expecting to go to this big hospital and maybe they're working on patients on this floor and we're shooting on another floor. That's not what it was. It was Hollywood. When you guys see it on the screen, it looks like a real, living, breathing hospital. Well, my friends, that's social media. On social media, you see the picture of me standing right here smiling. For all you guys know, I might have on a pair of shorts and some flip-flops, but to you all, it looks like I'm wearing a formal outfit. We don't know what's really going on behind the scenes. We can't be focused on what everybody's doing. When you go, right now it's Kentucky Derby weekend. When the horses are racing, they have blinders on. The blinders are on so that way they don't get caught up in what the people are doing around them. How fast are they running? How slow are they running? You're focused on your own race. And guess what? If somebody crashes and burns, you don't even freak out. You're running your own race. That's one of the biggest things that, I've learned in this situation is running your own race, because what's for you is for you, and maybe sometimes things that other people get aren't meant for us. There's a cost for everything. There's a cost to be the big CEO. Maybe there's time away from your family. There's a cost to start your own business. Maybe that means that you have to struggle a lot longer. There's a cost to be in a relationship. Maybe that means that you have less freedom. There's a cost to anything, and maybe some things aren't for you, but when you discover what is for you, it makes life worth living. That way, if you see somebody with the new car, if you see somebody with the new outfit, if you see somebody with the new job, you can go and celebrate with them because you're confident and comfortable in what you have because it's for you. If I can sit down and I can talk to my old self, I would say, self, I want you to be present and I want you to live in the moment. Sometimes, when I was younger, I was so excited about the next, about the new. When I was in middle school, I couldn't wait to get to high school. I couldn't wait to get to high school. Man, I can't wait to go to college and get out of my parents' house and do what I want to do. Get to college, man, I can't wait to get a job and be on my own and do my thing. Oh man, I can't wait to get married. I can't wait to have kids. And now I'm 40 plus. Now it's like, man, I wish I had a little more time. So I say that to say that, we have to enjoy whatever phase we're in. I was walking and going on a hike one time in LA, and there's this mountain. And we're going up the mountain, it's really steep, and if you make the wrong step, you'll fall over and you'll probably die. So I'm going up the mountain. Coming down the mountain is a couple. And they weren't speaking English. I think they were tourists. They were visiting. And they're walking down the mountain holding a selfie stick, talking into the phone. Now the guy slips and falls and almost tumbles over the edge. Now, follow me. You're walking down a mountain. The sun is setting. It's beautiful. It's dangerous. But you're looking at the selfie stick rather than looking at the world around you. When I say be present in the moment, live in the moment. Social media is absolutely amazing, but sometimes if you put that device down, you can connect with other people. Sometimes if you put that device down, you can have a moment to say, man, we are graduating. Look at all these people. Because when you get to be my age, or you get to be a little bit older, it's not going to be so much about these pictures that you have here. It's going to be a lot more about the experiences that you have in here. The time that you went home and said, hey, thanks, Mom and Dad, for that education that you paid for. Hey, thanks, little brother or little sister, for always being a thorn in my side. Hey, I haven't gotten together with my friends in a while. Hey, why don't we take a trip to the beach? Why don't we just go outside and sit around on the steps and just talk? Why don't we make some real connections? All those things about living in the moment mean a whole lot. As I look back over my life at those times when I was trying to breeze by, I think, man, Florida A&M was one of the best decisions ever made for me. Once I allowed myself to embrace that moment and live in the space, it was like, man, isn't this great? Once I got to my 20s, man, isn't this great? We're starving, but we're having fun. I don't know if we were having fun starving or if we just decided to have fun. Because at the end of the day, happiness is a choice and not a destination. You're not going to be really happy when you get the job, and you're not going to really be happy when you get the car, and you're not going to really be happy when you get the relationship. You're going to be who you are. So you can make a choice to make the best of it or not. What my mom told me when I was coming to Florida A&M, it's going to be what you want it to be. It's going to be amazing or it's not. It can be amazing in a big city, amazing as a single person, amazing as a person with money, or not. It's whatever it is that you want it to be. You know, what I would also say to myself, sitting in your shoes, is a quick story. When my partner Will and I were living together, we were roommates, we were business partners, and we didn't have a lot of money. We were trying to figure it out, and our parents were worried, and our friends had nice cars and nice stuff and all that, and we didn't. What we would do is we would put together a little bit of money together. We buy some fish. We fry it up. We go get some cheese grits. We cook it up. We have a little bit of something in the refrigerator. And we look at each other and we say, you know what? We don't have any money. The big deal did not happen today. We don't know what's going to happen tomorrow. But we're frying this fish. We got these cheese grits. We have something cold in the fridge. Got a few friends coming over. So tonight, we eat like kings. I would encourage you all to think about what it is that you want to do. Not what do your parents want you to do, not what do people expect you to do, not what looks good on paper, not what's going to just make you the most money, because you're the richest when you do what you love as opposed to just making the most money. You're richer when you do what you love and find a way for that to allow you to pay your bills. Then you're super rich. I hope for you that you will make the plan for your life and think about what you want and take risks on yourself. I hope that you will do what is necessary to then be able to do what is possible to then live the impossible. I hope that you don't settle. I hope that you run your own race. And I hope that you are present in the moment. And as you all walk across the stage, like I often walked across the stage a few years ago, I want you all to understand that regardless of where you go, regardless of what happens, I hope that when you get there, you can eat like kings and queens. Thank you so much.